Welcome to the Jim Reith Show Unleashed podcast.
That sign.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to work my hands on camera.
I know it's like I do that here. I got stuff above me and below me, and
75, number 75, if you can believe that.
and that's the last time you're going to hear that theme song too.
Yeah, how about that? Next week we've got a surprise for you. So that's the end of that theme song. We'll have a new one, and it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. Yahoo of the week: Yanks and Mets for each losing 5 straight games, acting like idiots, each one of them. Except the pitchers.
I'm okay with Miami sweeping the Mets, but I mean,
your Braves have been looking good.
We're two ahead.
You finally got your offense going. So congratulations. And the good news story of the week is the weather finally broke, so it's not going to freaking snow anymore. So.
Wait a minute now.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't jinx it like that. Absolutely.
I texted my plow guy and said, just in case, are you available in May?
Don't even say that. I can't with it. All right, we've got a whole cast of characters today. Excuse me. Wow. We got a bunch of guests today. Let's put it that way. And our first guest, Bill, why don't you bring him in?
I'll bring him in. Yeah. This is TNA Wrestling's AJ Francis is here with us. And why is because Syracuse, New York is the site of the national television taping for TNA Impact tomorrow and Wednesday night at the On Center Arena. I'll be there. I've had my ticket since day one. I've been looking forward to this since my friend at the On Center said that TNA was coming to back after it's been a while. It's been like 15 years since TNA has been here.
Holy cow.
But this is the first time you guys have been in this area since you've been on AMC.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man. Being on AMC every week, Thursday nights at 9 p.m.
Did we lose him?
What did you just do?
I don't know. I think we lost his audio. We lost your audio, AJ.
It's always something here on the Jim Reith podcast. Always something. Go ahead and drop him out and see if we can fix it.
Do you hear me?
There he is. There you go.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it's all good. Glad to be back, in the Northeast. Like I said, I'm from Baltimore, so last year was the first time. Well, last time was the first time we were in Baltimore, in a long time too. So I know what it's like to, return TNA to the fans that really love and support us. So I'm excited for Syracuse, and we got a Syracuse grad with Moose going to be on the show.
Right,
too,
Moose.
So.
Syracuse. Now, you were a football man yourself, former NFL player, played for the Washington Redskins, Seattle Seahawks. You were on the practice squad of Jim and I's New York Giants. So you are probably familiar with this part of New York. You know what you're coming into. What are you now? And you have been on the national spotlight before. You were a former WWE superstar also. But what is coming into TNA with the building blocks of pro wrestling now, which you guys are right in the thick of things, getting on AMC for the first time, getting that big deal. What are you guys looking forward to for the future for TNA?
Well, for me, looking forward to is, continuing the growth of TNA. Humble brag, the most watched episode of TNA was, a big match on that card, was a match that was my match, was being promoted the whole week leading up to that point. So, I feel responsible for that. And, I every time I come out, whether it's in Syracuse or last week in Cleveland, or like I said, when we went home, my hometown in Baltimore, we got upcoming shows in Canada and Boston, wherever we're at, man, like my job is to go out there and make the fans have a good time. And it's funny to say that because I make sure that the fans hate my guts, but in turn, they love whoever's standing across from me, and that's the gig, So, it's a lot of fun to be able to do this for a living because this is something I wanted to do since I was a little kid. Before I wanted to play in the NFL, I wanted to be a wrestler. So, being able to do both. And, I technically wasn't on the Giants practice squad. I was on the off season We're
Off-season
roster
squad.
now. I got cut at the end of training camp, which was a terrible decision by Gettleman. But we all know he made terrible decisions. So, um, but it was I did love my time in New York. I will say, New York Giants fans are the craziest fans of any team that I ever
Yeah.
played for, and that
Yep.
includes like I was in Seattle, I was on the Dolphins for 3 years, and I could walk around Miami all the time, and maybe I get recognized, but more than likely I wouldn't. I signed in the offseason on the Giants, and I hadn't even been on the roster for 24 hours. And I went to a Mets game. And when I walked into the restaurant that's attached to Shea Stadium, um, people like were calling me by name as I walked in the building.
That's
And,
cool.
I hadn't even been on the team 24 hours yet. So I was like, what is going on? So like Giants fans always are definitely the craziest group of fans I ever had the opportunity to play for.
So, Jim, you would know AJ's trainers, the Dudley boys. Remember the
Oh,
Dudley
absolutely,
boys?
sure.
So, you obviously then grew up an ECW fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, how is it now working with Tommy Dreamer behind the scenes for TNA?
You know what's funny is, and I've never told Tommy this, but I might have been the only person that didn't like Tommy Dreamer in ECW.
You were. Everybody was. Everybody loved.
Everybody loved Tommy, but I would never admit this publicly. But I loved Bubba, and you know what I'm saying. And I love, there were guys that in ECW like Raven, and even though he didn't really wrestle, like when Stone Cold came there to cut promos, it was like ECW TNA is like ECW for 2026. And what I mean by that is, we're not, the top number one company. Anybody who says that a company is bigger than WWE in wrestling, they're just lying to themselves, right?
Yeah, it's international.
But that being said, like I feel like we put on the best shows. Like, come to our shows. Come be in the crowd at one of our shows. Go watch one of our shows on AMC on a Thursday night at 9:00. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we do that I don't be seeing on everybody else's shows. Creative stuff, incredible. Like, I never put over any of my coworkers because I'm better than all of them. But the opener last week, which was an 8-man tag, with the System and Moose and Mustafa and Trey Miguel, and Leon, they went. Mike Santana, they went crazy. Like the match was insane. Like my match with Hometown Man was much better later in the show, but that match was insane. And we put on performances like that every week on AMC. So I'm just glad that this locker room has a leader like me to look to try to make themselves, get
Look
to the
better.
level we need to.
Well, when you have guys that bring in top dollar like you, AJ,
Mm-hmm.
when guys like that, looking forward to it. You're gonna know if you're not familiar with the TNA product, you're gonna be familiar with the guys there. You're gonna see the Hardy Boys here in Syracuse. You're gonna see Brian Myers, who was formerly Kurt Hawkins of WWE. Him and Bear Bronson are now the TNA World Tag Team Champions. The champions are going to be here. EC3 came back in Cleveland and is going to wrestle his first match here in Syracuse against Eric Young in the next couple days. Tomorrow morning, box office opens at 10:00. There's a special going on. Go to the box office tomorrow morning. $14 tickets to TNA. For each day.
Wow.
You can get the tickets. There still are great seats available for both the 2-day pass, which I'll be there. That's the 2-day pass. I have the 2-day pass. Me and my boys are going to watch TNA, to watch you guys, and we're ready to have a great time. Thanks for coming on, and we're looking forward to a great show this week.
I appreciate you guys, man. Everybody in Syracuse, come out, have a good time, man. It's gonna be a good time. And go G-Man.
G-Man, absolutely.
Nice.
Thanks, AJ.
Love it.
Have a good one, man. Be safe. We'll see you soon.
Love it.
That's
great.
awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, former
great guy.
NFL dude.
Great guy.
And a lot of times you want to. He's got a pretty good pedigree of professional wrestling. He did some time in WWE. He was the host of the WWE Hidden Treasures show for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
But they don't want us to talk about that when we do those interviews.
Right. It's for TNA.
And it's a big deal if you're a professional wrestling fan at all. You have your chance to see you on TV, on national television, on AMC.
Yeah.
And they're filming more than one show. So I think you were getting 2 weeks worth of tapings here
That's
in Syracuse. Cool. And even I paid the full price, and I think I got a great deal. But going to the box office tomorrow, $14. You get ticket for each day. You got less than $30 for both days to go see wrestling.
That's fantastic.
It's gonna be good.
Yes, very good. Wow. Yeah, I mean, they came here for years and then they stopped, right? I saw him years. I fought with Gomez Adams actually, years and years and years
WWE
ago.
used to come here back in the
80s, right?
Great
90s?
days. Yeah, they would be here once a quarter
Yeah.
and tape television.
Yeah.
And then when Raw came around, they were here at least 2 or 3 times a year. But now they've taken those guys off the road, even for the little shows that come once every 6 months. And we had our first one back in January here that we had for a long time. But the problem is, like everything else now, is ticket prices are through the roof.
Yeah, right.
So
for everything.
Yeah,
and it's a shame.
And now with this, you got a good deal. It's good entertainment.
Yeah,
and you can afford to take your family.
We were talking about this yesterday, Shalene and I, during the Masters. We were watching the final round of the Masters, and I said, "Well, we're definitely what we're watching is white wealthy Southerners watch multimillionaires play a game."
Yes,
and that's what it is. If you looked at the crowd, 99% white, and chances are, if you saw, a blackface in the crowd, it's probably a worker.
Yeah,
it was. I just kept watching the crowd. I'm like, it's all white people here,
and those tickets aren't cheap either.
No, well, you can't get them.
Yeah.
So first of all, there's a lottery, I think, and then you have to know somebody. Marty Farrell, who worked on Channel 3 here for years, and then was Nick Piro's spokesman for years, has been going to the Masters. I don't know if he still is, but he had been going to the Masters 20, 30 years in a row because he had an in to get in and he never gave it up. That's like when you get Giants tickets, families never give them up. It goes from generation to generation because you can't get them. So
I remember how hard it was just to get a single game ticket for a Giants game back when I lived in New York in the early 2000s. Then it was hard just to get a single game, but then the team started going down, so you can get. I think last season you could have gotten a ticket for $5
really
on StubHub a couple hours before the game, but yeah,
that would be worth it.
Yeah,
let's get to our next guest because he has arrived.
There he is.
Grant Reeher is here from the Maxwell School, which now is the greatest school of its kind in the universe. Isn't that what they said?
For yet another year. We do this every year.
Yes, I know. And every year, it's worth it. And you guys are worthy of it. So,
well, thank you.
For those people who don't know, and there are people who don't know in this community that Syracuse has a bunch of different colleges and schools and stuff, explain to them what the Maxwell School actually is.
Well, it's a good question because the Maxwell School is a very strange entity when compared with other universities. So you're right. The university is divided up into different schools and colleges. Like all other universities, we have a College of Arts and Sciences, but we also have this thing called the Maxwell School, which has, first of all, one way to think of it is, in part, it's the collection of the social science departments, and we include history in that. And those departments are part of the College of Arts and Sciences when we teach undergraduates, but when we teach graduate students, we are in the Maxwell School. It also has a Master's of Public Administration program. I'll come back to that in a minute because that's real important for that #1 ranking that you were talking about. And then it has some other terminal degree programs, but it also has a very lively and flourishing executive education effort that has all sorts of different programs that bring in folks from the federal government, military people, veterans. That's one of the programs that I'm the lead faculty for through Exec Ed in the Maxwell School. And so it's got a lot of different pieces and components. It also has a lot of international footprint with different kinds of exchange programs. So it's a pretty big, complicated beast, and in that way it's different from a lot of other public affairs schools around the country.
Yeah, no question about it. So talk about the administration piece of it.
Yeah, so one thing to bear in mind, and I'm gonna say something here that maybe the school won't be crazy about, but it is the truth. The #1 ranking comes from primarily the Masters of Public Administration program. Now, that is something that the school kind of likes to put forward as a ranking for the whole school. And I'm not saying we're being intentionally misleading, but there might be times when we don't go as far as we might in distinguishing that. And, understandably, from a marketing perspective. But the school as a whole is very strong. The geography department has been ranked very highly. The political science department's very strong.
Mhm.
There are other departments that are very strong, but that number one ranking is a reputational ranking that has to do specifically with that Masters of Public Administration program.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about the situation that's happening now before we let you go, and that's of course
Sure.
this war with Iran, and now blockading the blockaders and moving the United States military warships in a position to blockade other parts of the region. That seems like an escalation to me.
It does seem like an escalation. The thing that and again, I'm not an international relations expert, but I'm just looking for patterns here with the Trump administration in dealing with other countries. And it does seem like there is this kind of almost like a wave function of, pushing out a lot of threats, a lot of bluster, and then something gets revealed the next day that seems to be, making that sound like it's not as bad as we thought it might have been. So I have tended to look, among other places, at stock markets because my assumption is that they're sort of pricing in things and looking at disruptions. And, I think I didn't check it in the last couple hours, but I
Down.
think the market, it was down. Oh, I was going to say when I looked at it, it seemed relatively happy. So,
it did. Okay. Okay.
So, but you could have more recent information than me. So, I think we all are on the same page in hoping that somehow this gets wrapped up, gets calmed down. Iran somehow ends up in a better place than it was before, and things are more stable and safer than they were before. Not necessarily clear how we're going to get to that outcome, but at least, we do know that Iran's been a terrible regime, been a terrible international actor for 47 years. So if there is a way to weaken it without doing a lot of worse collateral damage, I think most of us would be for that. But it's very tough to predict at this point, I think.
Oh yeah, it's impossible because he's so erratic. No one knows what he's going to do next. I mean, he could turn around and shoot some missiles at Cuba tomorrow and say, "Well, we're taking that now too." So, who knows what he's going to do? Nobody does. It's bizarre to have to watch this in our country. All right,
the level of instability and uncertainty is very
scary.
Very concerning.
It is. It definitely is. It's got. It even has to concern, senior Republicans by now. I mean, it has to. This. I don't know what else could.
One last thing, Jim. If we could just extend by one more minute our conversation,
sure.
You can help me. I didn't take the time to really determine whether this was real or not. Was that image of Trump as Jesus healing people? Okay, that's real.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
They put it out. They put it out.
That's I thought.
And then
I just looked at it and I thought it can't be real. Okay. All right. So it's real. So
but the explanation is from the White House. Oh, he's acting as a doctor. He's supposed to be a doctor. He's in Christ's robes. Yeah. Right.
All I was going to say is that people of faith might appreciate this, but I was going to say, if Jesus were still in the ground, he'd be turning over in his grave. I mean,
you're going straight to hell. Don't blaspheme on this show. All right, we got to get out of here. We got another guest lined up. Thank you, Grant.
All right. Always
great to see you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Grant.
Yep.
I told Grant we weren't going to get too political.
Don't you blaspheme on this show, man.
That was funny.
Plus, we didn't even talk about him ripping the Pope, which is just, all right. Let's move on to something more lighthearted, shall we? We have an old friend. We could even do him back in the day.
Yeah.
With this, is he there?
He's right here. There he is.
Raymond S. is here. How are you?
Good, Jim. How are you?
Well, I forget what was your name. What was your air name or your professional name?
The old name I was born was Ray Ripple.
Ray Ripple. There it is.
And then Manasseh when my son was born. So
yes, all right, Ray Ripple. I forgot that. All right.
Yeah.
So, back in the day, way back in the day, WSYR Radio had a basketball team, the High Fives, and we had the opportunity a couple times to play the police department. But now the police department is playing the fire department again for the United Way, right?
That's correct. Last year was our first year back. The game of the Bravest versus Finest had gone on a hiatus for about 5 years.
Okay.
And when we were doing the United Way campaign with the city, they said, we'd love to bring this back. Can you guys help on supporting? And then ticket sales are going to generate a donation for United Way. So we were happy to help. And it turned out to be a exciting, pretty thrilling game. Last year, Fire came back from 25 points down to win the game.
Wow.
So it was a pretty good back and forth. A lot of, it was the first year back. We had about 250, 300 people in the stands at Corcoran. And they said, oh, there's definitely going to be a rematch. So that's what we're coming up to. This Friday is going to be the rematch of the firefighters and the police. And they have been practicing. There's some smack talk going on. People are ready to play.
Did you happen to see the hockey game between the New York's Finest and the New York's Bravest?
No.
A couple of weeks ago in New York, there was brawls every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes
in the stands.
No,
on the ice.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's not going to happen here.
No, not at all.
We like I said, we played the police department. They have both teams have very good players. Very good athletes among both departments, no question about it. And these guys get together to play one another, they have fun, but each team wants to win.
Oh, it is a very competitive game, but it is also, there's great spirit. Last yeir, I don't know if he was recruiting or not, but Coach Brown and the football team were in the stands.
Nice, nice.
Definitely there should be, if there's some eligibility, some guys should maybe be going back out again.
Yeah.
It was just a exciting time, exciting game, a lot of fun for the kids. Kids were running around and, so the fire sets up and they'd have a table and the police set up and have a table. There's kids running around in firefighters hats and we have t-shirts in red and blue. So you could pick which team you want to go for. And it was just, honestly, for United Way, it's just one of those things where it's like a very fun way for the city and for people to say, I want to support United Way and come out and, buy a $10 ticket and, go in and have a good night of fun.
Yeah. And it really fosters some goodwill between the police department and the community and the fire department and the community. And that's one of the reasons they enjoy doing it as well, is they get to meet the community and talk with them after and before the game.
Yeah. And it's, and it really does get people excited about, being able to connect as a city. And, it's important for us to all gather and have these social occasions, not always be on social media or kind of detached from things. So this is one of those in-person fun things that, you just feel great about. And at the end of it, it was just this buzz of, that was a lot of fun. We're going to do this again. So,
yeah, that's perfect.
To be back with it.
That's perfect. When that is the reaction to it, that's exactly what you want. So tell me again when it is and where it is and how can people get tickets?
This Friday, April 17th. Tickets are available on our website. If you visited unitedway-cny.org, you'll see a pop-up right there. There should be tickets at the door as well. It's $10. Kids 5 and under get in for free. And there will be some great concessions. We've got, and I know you guys, I listen to the show every week. You enjoy food. Who wants smoked barbecue is going to be catering.
Oh my God.
So there's going to be pulled pork sandwiches. There's going to be everything.
Beautiful.
Great lineup. And then we've got Coach Brown and football are probably coming back again.
Nice.
Had a great time. Want to be there again. So we're seeing probably quite a few SU athletes. Otto will be there. Tully the Turtle will be there.
Wow.
We've got Burnsy the cow from Burn Dairy coming in. We got the whole mascot, a bevy of mascots coming through.
This is a big deal. That's great. That's
awesome. Yeah, and then the t-shirts are going to be printed on site thanks to PPS. They are doing t-shirts $25, and we'll have a run of youth and adult t-shirts that'll be printed right on site for anyone who wants to pick one up. So,
and we have Bill. We had the links up
Yeah, it's right, right on our screen right now. You can see unitedway-cny.org for tickets.
I don't want to forget that.
Look at that.
But yes, we'll put up a link on
That
our
is
socials
sweet.
also.
Look at that trophy. That is
cool.
awesome.
So yeah, the trophy went to fire, and then when we did the press conference, they brought it back, and we said we got to take the trophy back now.
Wow, that is nice.
It's cool.
I like that.
I keep saying, guys, it is men and women. This is a
Right.
great lineup, and great teams full of athletes. So
Yep,
I'm
absolutely.
really looking forward to it.
All right, thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Great to see you again, man.
Thanks, man.
That's a back in the day too, because Ray Ripple was with us back in the day.
Yep,
great guy. So yeah, it's a fun game, and like I said, the High Fives, we played the policemen one year, and they were good athletes.
I can't remember who we played, but when I worked for CNY Central, I played in a couple of basketball games with your boy Matt. He's a very competitive guy.
Yeah, Matt Mulcahy.
And his brother.
Yeah, Tim.
Yep.
Played softball with those guys for years. Tim, very, very good softball player. Matt was a better basketball player than softball player, but he's a good athlete either way. Yeah, I played with those guys for years, and especially basketball with Matt.
But, and my friend Derek, the professional wrestler, the 6'5" guy. He was in IT at the time at CNY Central, so he was. On the team
kidding!
Also. Yeah.
Nice. He's a good athlete too, right?
Yeah. He wrestled for many years.
Yeah, right. And he didn't he go to a wrestling school or run a wrestling school?
He trained under Killer Kowalski.
Oh, that's right, Killer Kowalski. That's right.
He was in that same era as China and Triple H.
There's a name for you.
Yeah.
So our next guest, when he joins us, and it won't be for a few minutes, it'll be Bruno Schirripa. He's our friend that used to run Wise Guys and has traveled all over the world. And he told us about his latest trip. Well, now he is on another trip, and he's going to join us from an exotic location. But
I know that.
Yeah,
he didn't say that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I'll let him tell you where he is.
Right.
But it is an exotic location, and but it's kind of a serious topic because he wants to remember a good friend of his who has recently passed away, who was a comedian, and who Bruno helped at the very beginning of his career, and then followed him along the whole way. So Bruno will join us to talk about that and his friend. So, but he's living the life, man. He's talking about moving to Calabria, Italy. He and his wife. Yeah, he has family who live there.
Yes, well, as he's said on the show before, and he loves going
loves it there. So they're working on it, evidently. That's and I posted something on Facebook about that because I have a lot of friends who've traveled all over the world, as I have, and all over the United States, as a lot of my friends have. And the difference between cultures and other places in our culture is remarkable. I think the only people who work as hard as we do are the Japanese, and they work themselves to death. So we work way too hard and worry about work and worry about things and money and all that stuff way too much. And in Europe, it's not like that, and it's much more laid back and relaxed and refined. And it's just, for me, it would be a better lifestyle, but it's not for everybody. And I don't have the wherewithal to do it anyway. But I was just posting about the different cultures and different places on earth that people should see at least.
Michael Moore did a documentary about working in other countries compared to the United States, in his very tongue-in-cheek way.
Yep.
It was I can't remember which one that was, though.
Well, not him. So I met a couple from Sweden, when I was in Europe. I met a couple from Sweden, and in Sweden, you can take 2 years off from your job to try something else.
Wow.
So she was taking 2 years off from her job to be a photographer, and he was traveling along with her. He wanted to leave Sweden because he had been to the United States on business a few times, and he wanted to move to the United States. She wants to stay in Sweden. I said, why do you want to move to the United States? He said, I'm cold all the time. My whole life, I've been cold 24/7.
So what's the climate like? Is it cold all the time? Really? I didn't realize that.
There's sometimes where it hardly gets dark, and then there's sometimes where it hardly gets light. It's just like Alaska, the northern parts of Alaska. But when he said that to me, I couldn't stop laughing. I really couldn't. I am always cold.
I loved walking out at 1, 2 in the morning and
it's warm, right? Yeah.
In Alaska. And this was August.
Oh, so Alaska, yeah.
Alaska. This was August. So
wow.
It was nice, but I guess if I wouldn't want it to be dark and cold.
Yeah, no. I couldn't. So he wanted to come here last time, and she didn't. So I don't know how that ended up. But why don't we bring Bruno up because he has arrived, and I'm going to Bruno, my friend. How are you? Can you hear us?
Hey, Jim. Hey, Bill. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Worked the first time. That's
See,
amazing to me.
We'll get it one day. We're going to get it right.
Tell Bill and everyone else, Bruno, where you are right now.
I am sitting in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in our home. We have just returned, actually, to Florida from a little jaunt around the Bahamas, celebrating our 16th wedding anniversary.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Very
good.
nice.
Congratulations.
Yes.
No flight. You just get in the car, you drive down to the port, hop on a boat, bam, you're gone.
That's why you moved to Fort Lauderdale. Now I know.
That, and I played golf this morning. I'm going to play again tomorrow morning.
Very nice. Very nice.
You know, this retirement thing is a lot of hard work. I want you guys to know.
I like it and have liked it for a while. So let me talk to you, though, about something a little more serious, and that is that you wanted to remember your great good friend who has passed away recently. So tell my audience and tell us about that.
This is very difficult, actually. 28 years ago, I invited a comedian to the United States from Perth, Australia. He sent out 30 promo packages to producers across the country. I saw it. I liked it. I was the only one that responded to him. So I invited him to come to Syracuse, New York.
From Perth, Australia?
From Perth, Australia. Yeah. He came to Syracuse, New York, and adopted Syracuse, New York as his U.S. home. For all the years that he was here, home in the U.S. to him was Syracuse, New York. His name was Jim Delacus, and he became quite a force in the comedy industry. Had to coach him. I told him the first set you'll do in this country, you're going to eat it really bad, Jim. So I had him go up on an amateur night right after he arrived. I said, the language is different. The timing is different. The rhythm is different. Your toilets swirl this way. Ours don't. Yeah, he went on stage and he ate it really bad. And I sat in the back of the room and laughed my butt off. He says, I can't believe you're sitting back here laughing and I'm eating it bad. I said, well, I told you that would happen. So I coached him for the next couple of days and I had him booked for 2 weeks solid after that. And his career just took off and ran in comedy here in the U.S. and abroad. He went back to Perth and performed. He was a superstar there because he's been to the U.S. Did some bit parts in movies, motion pictures, some TV shows. And he was taken from us at a pretty young age, younger than both you and I, Jim. Hate to say. He was taken by bone cancer. It came on him and it took him quickly. And I've received in the past, his sister called me the day Patty and I returned from our jaunt around the Bahamas. And I knew when the phone rang, she called me on his phone. I thought it was him and I picked it up. Dimitri, that's his real name is Dimitri, his Greek name. He's a Greek Australian. My Greek name is Brunopoulos. So keep that in mind. And when I saw the number come up, I was excited because I hadn't heard from him in about 2 weeks. And it was his sister. When I heard her voice, I knew what she was going to tell me because I'd known of his illness and we communicated and stayed in touch the whole 28 years he was in this country. I was the reason he was here. My name is on his visa and I don't regret a moment of it. He was a person that when you meet him, his spirit was so captivating, his personality enchanting, and watching him perform on stage, wow, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me as much as I helped him, I guess. You know, I did a lot of charity work in Syracuse. I produced shows. He sold out the Palace Theater more times than I think anybody else in the history of the Palace Theater. And he's gone. He passed away last Thursday from cancer. And I'm still kind of in shock. I feel like I lost my brother. And if you've lost a brother, you know what that feels like. I actually did lose my younger brother, but this is like another brother. And I, in speaking with his sister and responding to, I'm going to say a little over 1,200 messages, phone calls, texts, posts on Facebook from the comedy community, asking about Jim and offering their condolences and asking, what can we do? What can we do? We want his family to know we care. What can we do for his family? And I spoke to his sister about this, and she gave me stewardship over the U.S. She goes, I have no idea. I don't know these people. As far as charity goes, I know Jim loved two things: dogs and kids. So, in addressing both of those, the first to the table, and it was easy to put this together. So I will announce on my Facebook page a little bit later on this evening. But you're getting the exclusive, Mr. Reith.
Thank you.
In Syracuse, New York, Father Champlin's Guardian Angel Society.
Nice.
Set up on their website, on their donation page. If you go to the drop down, oh man, sorry, bud.
No, you're good. Listen, this is hard, man.
This is brutal.
Yeah.
You go to the drop down. When you go to their page, it'll give you an opportunity to donate in the upper right-hand corner. Click donate. It'll ask you a one-time donation, how much you'd like to donate. And then there's a drop down. It'll say gift and an arrow. You hit that arrow, it'll drop down and say, in memory of Jim Delacus.
Okay.
Again, Syracuse was his home. And anyone that asked him around the country, where's home? He said, well, I'm from Perth, Australia, but Syracuse is my home.
Jeez.
And the number of times, the number of people that have reached out to me from Syracuse, I felt like this was one of the right things to do in his honor.
Yeah.
We helped them a lot along the way, and we'd like to continue to help. And in Jim's honor, if you would, and in Jim's memory, help break the chain of poverty. Give a little something to Father Champlin's Guardian Angel Society, and say it's in Jim's memory, and he'll smile. He'll be grateful. I'll be grateful, and the kids will be grateful. Father Champlin's kids.
Awesome. Bruno, I know this was very, very difficult for you, man. It's a brilliant tribute that you've made to your friend, and I know that others are contacting you, wishing their condolences, and Bill and I are among those, certainly.
Very much so.
I want you to take care of yourself, take care of your wife, and we'll talk again real soon on something much more fun.
Okay, I'm going to go play golf in Jim's honor.
There you go. Keep playing every day. When you go out and golf, just do it in his honor. It'll be all right.
That's it. That's it. Thank you, Bruno.
Guys, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate you
anytime.
So much.
We'll see you later.
That's awesome.
We got to get him on one time. We'll talk about the resurgence of comedy.
Yeah,
it's starting to really.
The only thing that that makes me, I don't know. I think it's too easy for a comedian to go on stage and just pick on the audience.
Oh yeah,
and that's a big trend now. You know what I mean?
Huge.
I like well, a lot of people don't like him, but I like Anthony Jeselnik. He's very, very dark humor. But I saw an interview with him, and it was like a round table of three comedians, and he said to him, comedy has to contain surprise. It's the surprise that makes you laugh. Well, his surprises are you laugh uncomfortably. Let's put it that way, because he's so dark. But there's some brilliant guys out there and women out there right now, really brilliant.
Sebastian Maniscalco is,
I
can't, and I've seen all of his stuff
over
and over again. But whenever I'm flipping on, Facebook and a video comes up, I stop and watch it because he's just so good. Yeah. His mannerisms and the way his delivery. And that's when you watch a really good comedian, the delivery is
the timing, like Bruno said, the rhythm, it's a whole thing. It really is. He's so physical with his stuff, but the physicality is always hilarious when he does it. That he's a good actor too. He's acted in a bunch of stuff. He was in the Irishman. He got killed in the Irishman. De Niro killed him. So hey, if somebody's going to kill you, have De Niro kill you.
I paint houses for a living.
Yep. I saw it. I like clips from. I see clips from that all the
Yeah.
time.
It's due. I'm due to watch that one.
Oh
again.
man, it was so good, so good. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I've been reading about that are older movies that people have forgotten about that are worth watching again. Schindler's List was on that list, but it's just so intense. It's a good movie.
You
And
gotta
I've
be in
seen
a
it more than
mindset. You
once.
gotta
but
be in a
yeah,
mindset
you
for
do.
that
You
one.
really do. That's a shoe.
That's
boy.
on my shelf. That's a keeper.
The
That's
Pianist too. Remember that movie?
Yeah,
that was brilliant too. But that's also brutal.
For me, a very intense movie. Have you ever seen Whiplash?
The Drummer.
Yeah,
I saw parts of. My son saw it. Loved it.
There's parts of that just you're at the edge of your seat.
Yeah. He's kind of nuts, right?
Yeah.
The instructor.
JC. I can't remember what his real name is.
Man, what a
Great
actor he is.
I think he was nominated for that.
Really?
For that role. That's top 10 for me. Whiplash is a top 10 movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah, my son recommended that. I'll have to check that out. I've seen clips of it when he gets really, really intense. When he's like, is it too slow or too fast? And he's slapping him. Yeah.
And his hands are the kid who's playing the drummer, his hands are bleeding. I love it. This month on Netflix is a crime drama explosion. There's so much stuff. Predator of Seville. Have you seen this one now?
No.
This is not. I don't think this is a episodic. I think it's just one shot, 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's about these United States transfer students for overseas learning in Spain. Gets hooked up with this like a tour guide.
Okay.
But he sexually assaults all these women. And that's the whole I don't know if you remember the documentary about the doctor who is inseminating his patients.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that because it's all of these people are coming out.
Is this a movie or a documentary?
It's a documentary. It's an hour and 30-minute documentary. But all these people, I love the documentary making lately and the flow of it. It's like somebody tells a story and then the story stops and somebody else's portion of the story comes in.
Yes.
And that's what this is. It's just like story after story after story. The Predator of Seville.
Okay.
And then if you want to watch a little more lighthearted, the Untold series on Netflix, Chess Master.
Well, that's Joy, right? The Anna, whatever her name is, Joy with the big eyes.
No, this is a documentary.
Oh, okay.
About the greatest chess master right now.
The Russian guy?
I can't remember his name. And the kid that's trying to come up and beat him.
Oh, okay.
And he's an online player and he's a snot-nosed, egotistical kid. And it's, you got to watch it because there's a lot of spin in it, but it really reminds me of that King of Kong documentary about Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Because there's like the villain and then there's the guy that gets screwed over and it's good.
Wow.
It's very good.
Yeah, we're big on documentaries.
And
I love documentaries.
I want to say it's only like an hour and 15 minutes. It's those Untolds are, straight to the point. The Lamar Odom one is also this month. It premiered too. The Lamar Odom.
What a train wreck he is or was.
Good
player though. I mean, he could play until he threw it all away like some of them have.
He liked that bunny ranch there.
Yes, he did.
Vegas.
Yes, he did.
And the party favors that they offered there,
which led to him getting didn't he pass out there?
I almost died.
Almost died. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, what a mess that whole thing was.
There's a whole bunch of good stuff on Trust Me, The False Prophet. That's the one we talked about last week. That was new this month. There's a lot of
I can't keep up with all of it.
There's another one, The Booze, Bets, and Sex That Built America. I want to hit. That one's going to be pretty good. Chessmates is that one. Untold Chessmates.
Chessmates. Okay.
But yeah, this was a good documentary month. And I haven't really sat down and watched a movie.
I don't think we watched the Peaky Blinders movie. It's the last movie we watched. We've been watching Yankee games.
Yeah, that's where everything's baseball now.
Yep. So you can get the Braves still, right?
Yeah. Well, I have the MLB package, which has now, because they are affiliated with ESPN, it's made it cheaper because I have the ESPN Unlimited package just because I have ESPN on my cable system. So if you go to the app, you get all the WWE and stuff now for free because you have it. you have ESPN in your cable
I
system.
went WWE.
Well, but also it gave me a discount because now ESPN is affiliated with MLB,
Okay.
and it gave me a discount. Now I pay
How much of a discount?
$139 instead of I think $169 I
Oh,
paid
okay.
last year. That's every game.
Yeah.
Except the ones like last night was on Peacock.
Right. And it's also the home announcers.
Yes.
So whoever the team's announcers are, that's what you get. I had it one year, and it was cool, but I was staying up way too late watching too much baseball.
I love it.
But it's cool. Yes, it's very cool. Yep. If I was single, maybe, but.
And then I have it on my phone so then I can listen to while I'm driving, if there's a game on, I can
Oh,
listen
that's
to the home,
true.
I can listen to the home audio through the app, the MLB TV app, but it streams right to my 4K while it's not in 4K. I can't wait till baseball gets 4K. Look insane.
Yeah, Will. Jeez.
All those homers that Dom Smith and
so here's what's
Drake Baldwin.
Here's what's interesting. Cameramen now are like right on the field.
Oh yeah.
So when like a guy hits a home run,
They're running behind
he
him.
runs with him. Yeah, it's crazy. There's a couple of things I've seen. The Masters would not allow drones. They wouldn't allow CBS to use drones.
Wow. Noise?
No, they're just hard asses about stuff. They're just ridiculous about stuff. So yeah, they couldn't, so that during the Olympics on the bobsled run where they put the drone right behind it.
Awesome.
That was so cool.
That's what the best part of this of all this technology is. You get for sporting events.
Yes.
It's insane now.
Well, because it's so expensive to go to a live game, you're getting more when you're sitting at home watching it.
I watched a package they had. Remember the home run, the grand slam that Freddie Freeman hit last year?
Yes.
In the series.
Yes.
They had a package of Freddie Freeman talking about that and how he went over to his dad after. They must have had 100 cameramen on the field because they had it from every angle. And then one guy is like behind the catcher, and you can see the cameraman running behind Freddie, catching him that way. But that was what a story that was. All the crap that happened with his son last year.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a historic and really you like to see, because baseball is good for stories like that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's really the sport that's best for stories like that. And that was really, really cool.
There could be a story about the game, the inning, the pitch.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. That's really cool.
And now that with the ABS, that puts into the story, because like last week, that 17-run game that the Braves had would have never happened if the ABS wasn't in place.
See, and here's the thing. So here's another rip on Boone, okay, as a manager, because they keep using their challenges in nonsense. Yeah. I struck out in the first inning. He challenges it. What are you doing? We may need that later. If so
you got two. If you lose, you lose one.
Right.
If you win it, you
keep going. Right. And they won 5 in a row one time.
Last night, both teams.
You have to do it strategically. You have to save at least one for late. They throw them away like it's nothing, and it's not nothing. It's strategic. It's another part of the game. It's not a part of strategy that you need to incorporate. I mean, he needs to tell them that. I don't want anybody challenging anything unless I tell you can before as you're going up to the plate. That's all.
Right. Yeah, you do have to have some ahead of time notice. It has to be immediate.
Oh yeah, 2 seconds. Yeah, it has to be 2 seconds. So there's not time to get a message from the dugout. So before he goes up to bat, you tell him, "Look, I don't want you doing this," or "Look, if it's close, go ahead and challenge it, but don't waste it because you could come in handy at the end." It's ridiculous. The Yankees are playing so crappy. I blame Boone. I like him as a dude. I'd love to hang out with him, talk baseball with him. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
Boy, cannot manage a baseball team, man. Jeez.
The Atlanta Braves have a 46-run plus differential
right now. Yeah. Just remember, the Yankees started out 8-1. Okay, so anything can happen quick, and just one more of your pitching staff blows an arm out, and that'll be
over because we're on thin ice as it is. Strider's coming back within the month. I think he was doing simulated games, so I think he's getting ready.
Rodon for the Yankees is ready to go out on rehab assignment.
Did you see Kimbrel's got
called up?
Called up. So if he goes back down, maybe he'll play in Syracuse.
Yeah, I would assume so.
He's a vet. I mean, I don't know much longer he's going to be in the
Kimbrel
league. Yeah, he's a vet now.
This is it. I would say
it's got to be his last
Yeah, this is it.
Yep.
He's got to be 37, 38, right? At least.
Yeah, oh yeah, at least that.
And that whole thing where he bends over and looks at you now is not quite as intimidating as it used to be. You know how he does it?
No, because you've got the clock now.
Right. That's right. Oh, I didn't
it's
think about
37.
that. Because he does do that still.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't think about
Yep.
that. Huh. That's interesting. I like the clock. I like the clock, and I like the ABS. I think it's great.
I think when the clock first happened, I was worried about playoff drama, but it really doesn't matter anymore. They've got it so down now that
And
it's
yeah,
good.
exactly.
And I think ABS is. I liked it when it was in the minors.
Yes, and in fact, they used it here in Syracuse. And we went to games that year, and it worked great. It worked great.
100-mile-an-hour fastball is hard to see with
my
the
gosh.
naked eye.
And listen, when they're missing stuff, it's by like
Yep.
an eighth of an inch. I mean, you can see it on the thing that they show, and so that's kind of helped umpires out, saying, "Wow, he missed it, but not by that much." It's like ridiculous. So I like it. I just hope they don't use it all the time. I just want it the way it is. A couple challenges, that's it.
Yeah,
I don't want robot umpires.
And don't give more challenge. Two's plenty.
Yeah.
Two's plenty. You
I
either
agree.
use them and blow them, or you wait for them and use it as a strategy.
I agree.
Strategy.
All right. So next week we're going to want the president of the Syracuse Common Council, right?
Yep, we're gonna talk to her.
All right. And who else did we want?
You wanted me to talk to Lauren Cochin.
Yes.
So if you're listening, we're calling.
Lauren, we're calling.
Now we're gonna start calling people out.
That's right. We'll just start calling them out on the pod.
No, everybody's been great. We
Yes.
we contact everybody, and then it's very nice that
we are
come.
honored.
I mean,
yes, we're low on a totem pole, and we're very,
people
very
are
honored.
coming to us. They asked us if we'd have the TNA people on. It's great.
Yes.
It's nice. I like it. And please, if you're listening, watching, go to YouTube, Jim Reith Unleashed, and subscribe on our YouTube page. It's very important for us to show numbers. So please, if you're watching it through YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You'll get an email whenever we go on. You don't get anything else other than that. An email once we go on live, and all that's going to start changing too. You're going to start seeing some evolving of the show in the next month or so. And next week is the first part of that, where we're going to have a whole new beginning of the show next week.
Right, maybe some swag too.
Swag. We're going to have some swag. We're going to have a definite day and time that we're going to be here every week.
Okay.
We did let's see what our poll's at. I did a poll. Did you see the poll?
I did.
I was very proud of myself that I figured out how to do the poll on the Facebook page. So let's see where we're at in the poll. It was done later last week.
I'm not really concerned.
Thursday looks like is the runaway right now. Where I put what day of the week is best for you to watch or listen in the show live at the 4 p.m. hour. Thursday so far is the.
All right, well, we'll collect all the info and then make a decision on what we're going to do. But right now, I like to keep it floating because we like to react to stuff, and people seem to react well to that. So,
and I think now with you having a little setup at home, if we need to go on for a few minutes to talk about something, we can.
Down in the bunker.
And then once we really get it going, we'll have some special features and stuff that you'll. I have an idea of one thing I want to do with you for a special thing that I'll talk to you about off air, but it'll be fun.
Make sure you tell me about it
I will.
first.
It'll be fun. I think you'll dig it. Dig the idea that I have.
All right.
But before we leave, remember tomorrow TNA Wrestling at the On Center. Go $14 tickets tomorrow at the box office. They open up at 10 a.m. I'm not just saying this because I bought tickets, so I'm not trying to sell anything to anybody. They didn't give me anything. It's going to be a fun night of 2 nights of wrestling. You're going to see lots of people. You're going to see 2 national television shows. I'm going with my friends that I haven't hung out with in a while. I'm going to have a few Miller Lights while I'm there and yell and scream at the ring like I was when I was 18 years old. And that's I don't get to do that as often anymore. And I'm thankful that my wife doesn't like that stuff. So she goes, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll sit home and watch Donington all night long or Donington, whatever the heck it is. I come home with some of the stuff she watched. I see her that's on the television. I don't get it.
You're not supposed to get it.
But sometimes it's like she loves those like Jason Statham movies.
Oh, really? I do too.
But some of them are so they're not that great.
No. Some of them are good.
And
The
what's his
Beekeeper,
name?
the Beekeeper is good. I like that one.
Buff, long-haired dude, Momoa, him too.
Nah.
I don't think I've ever seen anything that he was in that was.
No, just Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and that
was very
that's
good.
Where
Game of
she
Thrones.
knows him, that's because that was one of her favorite shows.
He hasn't been really good in anything else, really. He's just really good looking and big, and
I want to do a Mad Men rewatch.
incredible show.
The acting in that show
Incredible show.
was great.
Writing was great.
Yes.
It's just it's
And another one,
great show.
Even I think my wife was interested. Newsroom, remember with
Yes.
Jeff Daniels, right?
Yes, yep.
Where that opening monologue was
Yep.
like blew people away. That's which Aaron Sorkin,
Yeah.
West Wing did
Yes.
the same thing. Syracuse grad.
Yeah, very good show.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right, that's it. We're good for this week. And
Yeah.
next week's going to be stacked, and we look forward to some swag
And
and a new open. How about that?
big
We'll be
guest
giving-
next week. We'll
big
have him
guest.
on,
All right.
talk about stuff.
As we always do, take care of yourselves this week, okay? And next time, God willing, we're all back at it here on the Jim Reith Show Unleashed podcast.